Hey guys, I just want to talk a little bit about what I'm going through spiritually, and just lately I've been like back and forth with my relationship with God. It's been like a tug of war, basically. Like when God said in His Word, says in His Word that I totally forgot. That's how I know, like, I know the enemy is trying to like play with me right now, but when He said that if you really love God, you will obey Him. You will obey His words. You will obey His commandments that He give us. That is the truth. So I look at that as when I was younger, when I used to do certain things that I know I would get in trouble for, I would feel bad about them. And I can remember I was being rebellious against my mom. You have to excuse my grammar. I'm not the best with speeches and words, so forgive me. But I'm sure most will understand what I'm saying. So I, did a few rebellious things against my mom, and every time I did, I felt bad because I was being disrespectful, probably, and that's when it all started from me writing letters and writing things to my mom, and she always forgave me. I can remember one letter I wrote to my mom. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I'm pretty sure it was something bad. And I just found this letter probably like a few months ago. And I wrote it to my mom, and at the end of it, it was like, can you please take this dollar if you love me, or something like that. It was just so funny. So it was like I was trying to buy my mom's love back. So it kind of reminded me of God, like where it's like we do something against Him, and then it's like, God, please forgive me. Can you please take what I have? And at the same time, it doesn't matter what you have. Like the person who really loves you, they're not looking at your hands. They're not looking at what you have to, give to them so they can feel remorseful or forgive you. If they really love you, no matter what you do, they're gonna, still forgive you. And that's like with our good Father. He loves us no matter what we do. But although He loves us no matter what we do, He doesn't love the things that we do, and He doesn't love the things that we allow in our lives that are not pleasing to Him. So if certain things aren't pleasing to Him, He is disappointed, and that's when His Holy Spirit, takes place, and we started feeling guilty, or we started feeling like something's not right. And that's for me. I don't know how anybody else walk is, but when I do certain things against God, whether it be any kind of sin in my life that I know isn't pleasing to Him, like I can feel the pressure, and I know there are times where I feel far away from Him. And the most times that I feel far away from Him is when I put things in front of Him. So I will replace His word. I will replace Him for something else. I will worship different things, whether that be relationships, whether that be distractions, like whatever it may be in my life. I will replace those things. I will replace those things that I have, just just to be accepted, or just to be loved, or just to feel okay. And I remember like it was just like God would speak to you in a still small voice. It's the truth. And it was so quiet, and I was just pondering in my mind about certain things, and God just said, like, am I not enough? Like, am I not enough for you? Because I kept trying to get relationships, and not just like guy relationships, but people relationships, family relationships, just to make sure they are okay, or just to make sure that I'm doing something right so they can love me, or doing something right so they can be okay with me. And God was telling me, like, am I not enough for you to just give all your attention to me, for you to just place all your worries, all your concerns, all your struggles in my hands, like place them at my feet, place them here, because that was the reason Jesus died for you. He died for you. And I had to look at it as like, God really loves me. Like, he loves me so much that he sent Jesus to die for me. And I have to think about that many times. Like, wow, God, you love me. Like, me, Daquania. Like, you love me. You know how many things I did against you? You love me. Like, I broke all the 10 commandments. You love me. And that's why I say, Lord, I thank you for Jesus. I thank you for him. And I grew up as, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say as a Christian. I grew up in a Christian household, because that's where we get confused. Like, we think we're Christians because we grew up in a Christian households. And every person has to live up to their own souls. Like, everyone has to find or get their relationship with God for themselves. Like, no one can go to heaven for me. Like, no one can say, oh, I was good, or I did this, or I received Jesus into my life, so, you know, I got these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you go to a buffet, like, you know, I'm going to pay for all these people that's with me so we can just eat whatever we want. Like, that's not how it goes. So it's like you have to get your relationship together with Christ for yourselves. And without God, I just don't know where I would be. I lived a promiscuous lifestyle before, and I'm not ashamed to say what I have done, because I know I've been redeemed, and people from my past, they probably still think that I do the same things, but I really don't care, because I don't have to live up to no one's standards besides God. So if you bringing up my past, that means you're living in the past, and that means you have some things that you need to work on. And I'm speaking to anyone who, you know, have said things towards me or against me. Like, whatever I have done in my past that doesn't line up to who I am right now. You don't know what I do every day. No one knows what a person does every day. And that's why God says we look at the human. Like, we look at the humans. We can only see what humans do, you know, in a way far as if I see you out in public and you do something strange or weird, whatever, I can see what you did, but I can't see you behind a closed door. Unless you put a camera there, then that's different. But at the same time, even with that, like, God can see us. Like, he can see us internally. Like, he knows our hearts. He knows our thoughts. So therefore, if a person is bashing other people from their past or from what they did, look at your own heart. Look at what you have done to people. Look at what you have said against people. And that's what I can't stand, when a person just judges other people for any other reason. I mean, besides, and I'm speaking in different ways right now, because God tell us to judge, but I feel like in that sense, if we're talking about our spiritual walk, the Bible, you know, if someone isn't speaking the true gospel, or, you know, doing certain things that aren't godly, then yeah. But I'm saying, far as a human perspective, just a plain human who don't know God, and I've been there before where I didn't know God, so I can't judge this person who don't know God and be like, oh, you this and that. Like, at the same time, I'm going to show them the truth about certain things, but I'm going to make sure I do it with love, because I've been there before, and I wouldn't want no one coming up to me telling me what to do and how to live my life when I was in that rebellious state. So that's just what it is. And especially if you're a Christian, like, you want to make sure your words are kind and make sure your words are truth, because I just seen something. It was weird. Like, I don't know. It was weird. I'm looking at something on TV, but it was weird. So, feels like I've been rambling a lot, just rambling with my words, but I just felt motivated to just make a video. I felt motivated, but at this moment, I don't have much to say. It's just that I just want my relationship right with God. I don't even know why I'm making this video, but I just feel like, man, we living in our last days. Like, I can just see it, like, rapidly. I can see things happening because I have on my spiritual eyes that God gave me. Like, he gave me these eyes for a reason. He give us things for a reason. That's why he said in his word, you have ears. Those who have ears, listen to my word. Like, listen to his word. And that's why, like, you gotta hear God's voice. You gotta hear him. And he don't yell at us. He don't come off aggressive. He come off loving. He come off beautiful and just calming and peaceful. And a lot of people think God is mad at them, but it's not even about being mad. Like, it's not even about him being mad at us. He just wants a relationship with the ones he created. And God don't need you. He don't need me. He created us. So he can, if God wanted to, this is how beautiful and perfect he is and just he is. If God wanted to just wipe out this whole generation, this rebellious generation, because this generation is very rebellious and they hate God. They don't love God. You can see all the things that's happening, but everything that's happening, we don't supposed to freak out and worry. But just know that it says this in his word. It says this in Revelations. You see all this technology, see all more killing. It's not gonna get cuter. So I don't know why, and I'm just finna keep it real. I don't know why all these preachers keep talking about living your best life now. Like, of course you're gonna, enjoy your family, enjoy, the things that God have placed in your life. Enjoy them, be grateful. But at the same time, let's place what's real. Like, let's put it in front of us. Like, this is reality. If you don't have your lives right with God, man, like, he can come anytime. Like, he can just show up like that, and then what? What can we do if God just say, cause like Jesus said, like in his word, like Jesus don't even know, like Jesus, and this is the only thing I can say that Jesus don't know, because it's in his word. Jesus don't even know when he's coming back to get us. It's when God tell him that he's ready for him to come and take his people. So that's just powerful. Like, although God is Jesus and Jesus is God, like, that's just what it is. It may sound confusing to, certain people who aren't believers, but that's just what it is. Jesus is God. God came down. God came down for us. God came down. Yes, Jesus was created. Jesus was formed in Mary's womb, but God came down to help us. So God and Jesus was like on the same team to save his people. In the beginning, God even told, I guess, in the beginning, in Genesis, when Jesus was saying, let us create man in our image. So He wanted to create us in his image. And honestly, a lot of people say, like, why did God create us? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did he create us if we have to worship him? Like, it just sounds so stupid. Like, it's stupid. It sounds stupid. For one, God created us because he loved us. He didn't create us to just worship him. Like, that's just not it. Yes, of course we're supposed to worship him in all we do, but we don't just worship God in praying. We don't just worship God and going to church. You know how you worship God? We're spirit and truth. So therefore, you can worship God in your relationships. You can worship God going down a road, driving, just talking, just thinking of him. You can worship God by serving. You can worship God by reading his word. You can worship God by just laying in your bed and just thinking of him and just being at peace that you know you have a right relationship with him. But at the same time, it's like, I just want my relationship right when he comes back. Like, that's just what it is. And I just know where I've been. I know I done lived it. I done lived all that partying and hanging out and all this stuff. Like, it's whack to me. It's whack. It's whack. And it's boring. It's boring. Give me something else. Give me something different. Get drunk, get wasted, sleeping around with different people. Give me something else, man. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Y'all can have it, though. Just know that it comes consequences to every action that we do. Every action. When you sleep around, there are many things. You don't just, person just don't get pregnant. Like, there are diseases out there. And that's why God created relationships inside of marriage. For us to have a relationship under him, it's supposed to be a marriage. A lot of people don't even believe in marriages, but all these things that the world is trying to deny, God already set these standards. So it doesn't matter how far away people run from them. Like, we still gonna have to answer to him on Judgment Day. Like, every one of us, even myself. Like, everything that I did against him, everything that I said, every single word is freaking written down. It's counted. Every word that we say is counted. Like, just imagine it. Imagine how many words we say in a day. Imagine how many words we say in a year. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's a lot. So if everything is counted, you better be careful what you say to people. You better be careful what you say to people. And you better be careful what you say to God. Because I've been there. I think I was a young girl, and I just was being stupid. And I just cursed God. Like, I cursed him. And I don't even know why I did it. But I'm pretty sure he was just like, she knows no better. She knows no better. Forgive them for what they, forgive them for what, I forgot the scripture. Forgive them for what they don't know what they do. Something like that, when Jesus was on the cross and the thief man was, I'm just sick and tired of these people. I love people, but I see they don't love God. They don't care. And I don't really care about your comments. Like, you can think I'm high, you can think I'm drunk, you can think whatever you want. I don't care. I just want my relationship right with him, and that's all that matters. As long as I'm living up to his standards. Whether if I have to get rid of relationships, whether if I have to get off social media, whatever it may be, I'm going to have to discipline myself. And the first place to start with, if you want a relationship with God, is a lot of people be like, to get a relationship with God, okay, do this and that. Number one, what you doing? Number two, do this, do that. Like, it's not about dues. It's about keeping yourself holy. Keeping yourself wholly set apart. Keeping yourself wholly set apart. Don't defile your body. Don't use your body for sexual sin. That's the main thing. Sexual sin is heavy in this world. Heavy. It's everywhere. TVs, magazines, Netflix. Netflix is the devil. Although I do like some of their shows that they put on there, like movies, faith and spiritual movies or whatever, some of them. But all this stuff is they promoting the devil. This is the devil's playground. So when you think you out here living your best life, you better be careful, because the devil is watching. And he's a roaring lion, looking for anyone who he may devour. Anyone. And you can't do nothing about it if you don't have God. And you think you got God because you live in this, spiritual life, and you see rainbows, you see flowers and trees and birds and all this kind of stuff. Like, you better get your life together with Jesus, because he's the only way to God. He's the only way that can branch a relationship. He's the only way that can seal it. Only way. Only way. He said, I am the way. Not one way, one of the ways, some ways, the way, the truth, the life. No one can come to the Father except by me, Jesus Christ. If that don't sit well with you, I don't know what to tell you, baby. I don't know what to tell you. God is everything to me. Jesus is real. There's nothing else to this life. Jesus is real. Get your lives together. I'm out.